Hello everybody, it's Dana Sullivan, the Stampin' Chick, here with another Make It Monday! How are you today, my friends? I hope you have had a fabulous weekend. This is a long weekend for most folks, and I hope that you all can take just a moment today for a moment of silence to say thank you so much to all of those who have served to protect our freedoms and all of the things that military personnel do, and those who paid the ultimate price for our freedom to be here today, to be able to do card making and have a good time with family and all of the wonderful things that we get to appreciate because of it. So just want to say I appreciate every one of you, and I'm looking forward to doing some paper crafting with you today. Hi, Miss Debbie, how are ya? Make sure that when you come in you say hello so I can see you, and hopefully I get to see everyone's comments today. If not, I will come back and take a look at them later and reply then. Sometimes Facebook is a little wonky and I don't always get to see everyone's comments, so I'm not always able to respond right away, but I do respond. So thank you all so much for being here this evening. This is the last Monday of the month, and that means that this is the Stamper Showcase. I love the Stamper Showcase because I have an incredible group of designers who do absolutely gorgeous projects, and we all come together and share them on a fabulous blog hop. So I will be uploading this video to YouTube as soon as I'm finished, and I will put a link in the video description here on Facebook as well as in the description on YouTube. So if you're seeing the red live button up there, you are here with me live. Yay! And if you're not, you're watching the replay. Hello, welcome anyway. Yay! All right. As you can see, I have a super cute card to share with you today. And I'm betting you can guess that this month's blog theme is black and white. It's a lot of fun, and black and white is probably one of my absolute favorite color combinations ever. You can do something fun and spunky, classic, you can do contemporary, you can do elegant, you can do so many cool things with black and white as your colors. So this month's Stamper Showcase blog hop theme is black and white, and so I'm going to share how I made this card, and then I'm also going to show you one other card that I made using some of the elements from this card. So we'll get to it and I'll tell you all about it. All right. Hello, hello. I see a bunch more folks coming in. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so thankful for all of you. These Facebook Live and YouTube Live videos are starting to bring in more and more people, and that's so exciting. Okay, so I am using the Butterfly Brilliance Stamp and Die Bundle, and I'm going to have to show you this one first because it's the one that has the dies in it. So I'm going to use the individual filigree dies for this one. This stamp does have just one stamp, and it has one outline die that coordinates with it, but then you get all of these other dies as well. So you get the individual filigree butterflies that coordinate, and then you get these little pieces which are like accent pieces. So they're really neat, and they create some texture, or this one will completely cut out the little bricks, and so you can use it to help bring some background forward on your cards and projects, and so that's a lot of fun. And then I also have a second stamp set, and that's because I wanted to cut around each of the butterflies, and I'll tell you why I did that. You know, I could have just kept it all as one stamp And every time I wanted to make some of the butterflies, I could do one stamp, die cut all of them at once, and just have the individual butterflies. And that's great. As you can see here, I've got some of them pre-cut and in a baggie so that if I need one, it's right here and ready. But there are times when I may only want to stamp one or two of the butterflies, and in that case it makes it really handy to have this other set that's cut apart so that I can do things like the envelope. I have one butterfly here and one butterfly here, and then on the inside of my card I've got that one butterfly right there. So it makes it really easy to be able to do just one butterfly when I've got them cut apart. So that's why I have the two different sets, and it works out fabulous, but you don't have to do that. Or if you want to do it, notice that I haven't cut really closely around my stamps, and I could, in theory, if I looked at my picture to remember how they go, I could line them back up, you know, so that they go however it is that they go on the pieces. I could put them together like a puzzle and stamp them together on one block and then die cut them out. So you could do it that way as well. Anyway, I'm using that. And then because the butterfly stamp set doesn't have a sentiment with it at all, I brought in the Sweet as a Peach stamp set. And I'm going to be using the Happy Birthday and Let's Celebrate You. Okay, so I'm bringing this one in. This stamp set is absolutely freaking adorable. And it has a coordinating die set with it as well. And you're going to see more of this. This is brand new in the new 2021 annual catalog. I'm going to be doing a class to go with this set very, very soon. You're going to see it really soon. So be on the lookout for that. I actually have just come back from a big week-long trip, and then we just had family in town for a few days on top of that as soon as we got back home. So things have been kind of hectic and chaotic here, but I'll be getting back into the groove of things throughout the course of this week. So be on the lookout for that class very soon. All right, what do you need for the cards today? I have my handy dandy white envelope. I have a piece of basic black cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 11 inches and is scored at 5.5 inches. And this makes the card base. So I'll just burnish that fold line down. Miss Carol, you can only see a strip of what I'm doing. Try to close out and come back in and see if maybe your device is being contrary. Hopefully no one else is having that issue. It doesn't seem to be an issue on my end, but that means absolutely nothing. So hopefully that fixes it for you. All right, you're also going to need a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 cardstock, and I've already pre-stamped with the Sweet as a Peach, Let's Celebrate You. So this is going to go on the inside of the card. And then you'll need a 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 piece of basic white cardstock. And this is going to be a layer on the front of our card. Then you'll also need a 4" by 5 1/4" piece of Designer Series paper. And this is coming from the pattern, Playful Patterns. What is that called? Pattern Party. Oh my goodness, I was way off. Pattern Party Designer Series paper pack. As you can see here, it is a huge pack of paper that is black and white on one side and bright and fabulous colors on the other side. This is a host exclusive paper pack. You can get this for $18 in Stampin' Rewards when you host a qualifying workshop or place a qualifying order. So it's super fantastic. There's 48 sheets, I think. Yeah, 48 sheets. It's just a huge, huge pack of paper, and it's absolutely gorgeous papers. So pretty. So anyway, that's where this comes from. And again, it's 4 inches by 5 1/4, which is what would be the standard next layer. So when I put these together, you see that I get just the tiniest little white trim, and then the background of the card base itself. So that is going to come into play here in just a minute, because if you didn't notice on the card, we're cutting out the butterflies on the designer series paper, and then we're filling the holes with the coordinating butterflies that are cut in basic black. So we're giving it a little texture and dimension there, and then the happy birthday banner here will also layer with the black and white. So I need a white piece behind the designer series paper so that when I cut it out, I don't see black behind it, because I'm going to be putting the black butterflies. Let's see, that one goes here, that one goes here, and that one goes here. I'm going to put the black butterflies in the spaces. So I will also need a piece of basic black cardstock that measures 3/4 by 2 3/8. And then a piece of basic white that measures 5/8 by 2 1/4. So this one is just 1/8 of an inch smaller on both sides than this one. And then, like the inside, I've already stamped this with the Sweet as a Peach Happy Birthday. So this one is already done. But I did bring out that one butterfly, and I'm using Memento black ink for the ink on there. And then I'm also bringing in the matte black dots, because this is a black and white card and I wanted to stick with that theme, but I wanted a little bit of embellishment, a little something something, you know, so I've got that. All right, first things first, let's go ahead and get the dies out, and we're going to die cut the designer series paper. So I'm going to scoot this stuff out of the way, and I'll grab the dies, and I'm going to be doing what I call the 2 medium-sized ones and then the 1 small one. All right, let's get that out of the way and bring in our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, aka the boss. And let me make sure I'm in view here. All right, I'm going to lay this down first, and then I want the biggest one to go about here, and the middle one to go about there, and then the top one to go there. And we're going to kind of bring it down just a little bit. We don't want them to touch. We want a little bit of space in between so that it die cuts nicely. There we go. All right. Hi there, folks. I see some more people are coming in. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, there we go. I went through it twice, there and back, because there's so much detail in the little butterflies. I wanted to make sure that it all got cut out really good, and that it's easy to get them separated, because it isn't always easy to get them out when you have a lot of little fine detail. So let me just get these out of the way. And I'm actually going to just set this aside and I'll take care of it later, because we don't need them. We just need this piece. So, alright, we're going to use this die cut piece now, and we'll start putting our card together. So the first thing we'll do is set this aside because we're going to do a little stamping on it. We're going to layer the Designer Series paper piece to the bigger of the basic white pieces. So this is the one that measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Get some Stampin' seal going here. And I'm kind of trying to avoid the spaces because it'll hang out in the open, and I don't want anything to be able to stick to it. So I'm just being kind of careful, and if it goes over the edge, then I'm folding it back over the top of itself. Let me get a hold of this piece here. I'm just going to fold it back over the top of itself so that it's out of the way. Alright. And then I also want to put a little bit here around the edges of the die cut sections so that it stays tacked down. Okay. And then we're going to center this right here on the basic white. Try to do it without it snagging on its own. There we go. Very good. And then we're going to put this one directly on the card front. Okay. There we go. All right. Now for the butterflies, what I want to do is take a little bit of liquid glue, and I'm going to just run a tiny little bit right down the centers. I don't want to do very much because I don't want to make a mess. I just want enough to spread across it. I'm putting the glue on all 3 pieces at the same time because I want it to sit for just a second so that it doesn't spread as much, and it's more tacky when you give it just a second before you put it down. And then I'm going to take the butterfly and crimp up with its wings. Like, I'm going to try to get them together. I'm not really necessarily bending the body, but I'm just pulling the wings together and giving them a little love so that they stay upright. Okay, and then what I want to do is line up the antenna and the bottom of its body in the spaces that are already die cut out from the other piece. Alright, so I'm just going to line that up right like that, and then it's in. Okay, and we're going to do that same thing for all 3 of the butterflies. So we'll give the wings a little love, and then line up the antenna with the antenna holes and the bottom just like that. And then the same thing with the last one. So we're just going to squeeze them up. Line up the antenna in the center of the body. Just like that. Alright, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, now, since we already have this stamped, let's go ahead and run some adhesive. And we're going to line this up so it's right in the middle. There we go. And then this part is going to be on dimensionals. So I'm going to grab a couple of dimensionals here. Here we go. And then I'm going to line it up right here. So I want to make sure that I'm going within the inside of the designer series paper. Of course, I also want to make sure it's straight. Come here, birthday. There we go. That's better. It doesn't matter if it goes underneath the butterfly's wings, because they're not going to be going down. And as long as it's in the envelope, it's not going to hurt anything. And then they can just be popped right back up. So it really doesn't matter as long as it doesn't go over the top of the wing so that you can't raise them up. So you want the wing above the happy birthday, okay? All right, let's bring in our Pierce mat and a scrap paper, only because I'm going to be stamping off the edge. And then I'm using the Memento black ink, and I'm using the medium butterfly that has the pointed wings, okay? I'm going to tap, 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 not smush, smush, smush. And then stamp right in the corner. And I could have stamped a little bit more. I did with the other one, but that's okay. It really doesn't matter. As long as it's in the corner, it's showing a little something, something. And then I'm going to re-ink it. I just picked up some little something, so let me, looks like a scrap of gold leaf. So we don't want that to mess up our stamp. Okay, there we go. And then on this one, I'll go ahead and stamp up a little bit higher. And now I have that butterfly there. I'm going to turn the envelope around. And I'm going to stamp right here on the corner. And then we're done with all of the stamping. Oh, hello. There we go. That zoom in and zoom out business with the white envelope was not working, was it? Okay, so now we have the front and the flap stamped, which you know is my signature Stampin' Chic envelope. I love decorating my envelopes this way. And then I have the inside stamped, and we're going to just attach this to the inside of the card, like so. There we go, just like that. All right, so the card is pretty much done, but of course I want to add just a little bit of embellishment, right? So I've got the little black matte dots there. So let me grab my Take Your Pick tool, which is my favorite little gadget ever, and the matte black dots. And then I'm going to use the big pearls. So, am I using the big pearls? I'm not using the big pearls. I lied. I'm using the small pearls. Okay, here we go. And I'm just going to put in a few around my butterflies. Remember the rules of 3. So you want to do odds. So I'm going to do 5 because I want a little more than 3. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll put 1 up there. Or, yeah, up here. There we go. And these fit perfectly over the center of the flowers, which I absolutely love. So there you have it. Absolutely adorable. I really like it. Simple and easy card to do. Here's the other one. And then the envelope is fantastic. So there we go. Beautiful black and white card. But wait, there's more. So I had die cut from the designer series paper, right? And I had all of these pieces that I haven't, let me try to get it out. I have all of these pieces and I'm making a mess, but okay. So I have these die cut butterflies left over, right? And I wanted to use them on something. and not waste them. And it was nice to have a second idea for a black and white card. So I went ahead and took these die cut butterflies and I created this card. So I feel like this one's kind of the mirror image of this one. I started with a basic white thick card base, and then a 4" by 5 1/4" inch piece of basic black cardstock. And then I ran this one through the brick and mortar embossing folder because I thought that would make a fantastic background. So instead of designer series paper, I've got a nice textured cardstock background. And then here are those fabulous die cut butterflies. And I did pretty much the same thing with them. I put a little adhesive on the middle and then stuck it down and floofed up the wings. And then I used a stitched rectangle die for the birthday, which came from the Biggest Wishes stamp set. I used birthday and then I did happy birthday on the inside. So that was really neat. And then what I love about this one is, because I used such thin strips of Stampin' Dimensional and layered them up so high, I have kind of an interactive wobble card, which is so cute, right? So let me go ahead and zhoosh up his wings, just like that. And then you can see he's fluttering butterfly. Isn't that neat? All right. And then I used 3 of the big matte black dots. Say that 10 times fast. I use those just to embellish a little bit so you can see there. So 2 different black and white cards using pretty much the same supplies. So we have basic black, basic white, the same piece of designer series paper, and I think both cards look absolutely fabulous, don't you? All right, friends, there you have it. Today's Make It Monday project. Isn't it great? I love it. Now, these are already on my blog, and you can visit my blog, thestampinchick.com, and you can find today's post and follow along the Stampers Showcase blog hop to see all sorts of black and white projects that you're absolutely going to love. And you might notice in the signature line that I have an In Color Club, and my artistically inked Stampin' Escape is coming up soon, and the registration deadline ends June 5th. And I believe I showed you guys a sneak peek of the projects last week, but this is a quick sneak peek, and I'm just gonna swoosh them around here. Wendy Lee and I do a fantastic retreat several times a year, and this one is absolutely gorgeous, off the charts. The products are amazing. You're all going to love them. And you can see all of the details on my blog as well. So check it out. I'd love for you to join us. And like I said, the deadline is June 5th. So you only have a couple more days to decide. But you're not going to want to miss out, because we have a terrific time and there's a lot of fun projects. Anyone can do them. You get PDF tutorials for each one, plus video tutorials on top of that. Plus, we hang out in an exclusive Facebook group, and there's games and prizes and lots of fun. So be sure to join us. All right, friends, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope that you enjoyed today's projects and the sneak peek of our artistically inked Blue Ridge Stampin' Escape. And I look forward to seeing you guys again soon, my friends. Until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye for now.